program may be pre-recorded.
It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phases and stages. These are your experiences that teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the James Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and to overcome adversity. It's time to get equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now, here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you that it's an absolutely great show tonight. We got one of the queens of self-confidence on the show, and it's always wonderful to have a person that's confident in everything that they do, and they try to create this what we call unshakable platform where you try to maintain self-confidence in everything that you do. And she is and I tell you, her name is Jacqueline. Michelle going to talk to you a little bit more about that one in a few minutes, but what she does is she shows, she creates, she maintains, and she presents this positive influence primarily to women, African American women, that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And I know a lot of times there are challenges because of situations and circumstances that that we might have, and which kind of throws us off, or which kind of throws women off or guys off, that you're less than because of what you are, what your religion, what your color, and all of those type of things. We have to have self-confidence in ourselves, and we have to have this unshakable self-confidence that you can do anything you set your mind to.
Exactly. We're really excited to have this guest on the show tonight because, self-confidence is everything. And as James said, that you always have to believe in yourself. Self-confidence does not mean arrogance. It doesn't mean pride, you know it all. Self-confidence is believing that you are able and that you can do everything. Not everything, but that you can do. As long as you're giving your very best in everything you do. You may not be the best person at it, but you've done the best that you know how to do. It's all about confidence and being confident in who you are and not rely on anybody telling you who you are. You know who you are.
Well, I believe, Michelle, that long as you believe in yourself, and long as you have the mental and the physical status, to dream big, think big, and be big, on what's in your purview, that I believe you can do it. I believe you can do it, and I got my great producer Noah Dingley here, and I got my great co-host Michelle Cooley, and we got this absolutely fantastic guest that we're going to be talking to. How you doing, Noah? How you doing today?
Doing well. How about you?
Well, we doing it. We doing. We always doing big things. Our mindset is to do big things with self-confidence, and that's where I'm at today. And what about you, Michelle?
I'm doing great today as well. I'm having a fantastic day. A lot of great things already happening, and I'm just looking forward to the show tonight and speaking with this amazing woman.
Wow, I want to get the show started. And I tell you, listening audience, self-confidence is the word of today. Self-confidence. That's two words, but self-confidence is the word of today. And Jacqueline is going to tell us about that. So if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Michelle, can you please tell our listening audience what the title and the purpose of today's show?
The title of today's show is How to Create Unshakable Self-Confidence. And the purpose of the show is getting to know the background of confidence success coach and licensed clinical social worker Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. Discuss her company, Realizing Your Potential, LLC. Discuss how to create unshakable self-confidence and how it correlates in success in business and in life. And talk about a Queen's Roundtable channel and a Queen's Roundtable quarterly symposium TV show and podcast.
Can you please introduce this great guest to our listening audience?
Yes, Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison is a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Michigan since 2003 and a practicing social worker since 1994. Over the years, she has learned her role is to serve as a catalyst for change. She's a confidence and success coach, and she created Realizing Your Potential, LLC, to empower and inspire African American women everywhere. Her focus is empowering and inspiring African American women to know better and be better for themselves, their families, and their communities. Her work is about getting African American women to recognize and harness their power to empower themselves and others to manifest abundance in their lives. More specifically, she helps coaches and consultants create effective strategies to eliminate negative self-talk and self-sabotaging behaviors that prevent them from taking their business to the next level. Additionally, she provides a virtual platform for entrepreneurs to receive personal, professional, and leadership development to help them scale their business. She's the executive channel producer of a Queen's Roundtable channel on the Woman Win TV network, which is the fastest growing all-woman TV network. She's the host of a Queen's Roundtable quarterly symposium, TV show, and podcast. Jacqueline currently resides in Michigan with her husband and 10-year-old son. The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, proudly welcomes and presents Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison to the show.
How you doing, Jacqueline? Hey, welcome to the show. How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
We're so excited to have you. And one of the things that Michelle just mentioned to our listener audience about you is, and my great friend Ray Leonard Jr. Always says to me, when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. And I just like how you got that is to educate, especially African American women in whatever line of work that they're doing, to get a better understanding of what they want to do. So when you know better, you do better. And thank you so much for putting it out. But I want to start out with a question before we go to the break. And we got about 2 minutes with this question. Jacqueline, can you please tell our listening audience where you grew up and how was your background environment and how that impacted you into being the person that you are today?
Okay.
2 minutes.
In Detroit, Michigan, which is currently where I reside now. And to be perfectly honest with you, there was a lot of alcohol abuse in my family. And I knew that I wanted to be able to help people through that. I wanted to be able to help people see a better future for themselves, or to see a sober future. So that was my main motivation, was because, like I said, I experienced so much of that in my family, and I wanted to be able to help people through that process.
Wow. So you're in Detroit, and you might know the name Chief Ralph Garby, the fire chief. Very good friend of mine and my great producer. Actually, my great producer just had him on the show this past weekend, and a great guy. And Detroit, well, you love it, man. And you're doing some great things. And so I tell you, before we get to the next question, I want to hold it because I want you to be able to explain the whole thing when we get back. But I want our listening audience to know that if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Coley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Noah Dingley here, producer up. How you want to do it, boss?
Okay, so Michelle
and the
is
audio
going
version
to
of James' book, Country
start
Boy,
off,
City Boy.
I'm going to bring it back, and then Michelle got the first two questions. You got the next question after that, then I got one. Michelle is going to run most of the show tonight, so
and a roadmap.
Michelle got two.
American Dream.
You got one, I got one, and we'll go from there.
I'm going to send you, just so you know, I was filling in for a host thing on another show, and I had Barry on, and I did 2 segments.
Oh, really?
And one of the segments we did was on him getting started with this swim thing that he's doing.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to send that to you, and that should answer a lot of the who, what, when, where, why, and all that. And then you can listen to that and call your friend and see if he perhaps knows Michael Phelps, because this is going to be big stuff.
I have already reached out
for
to
the
him.
Challenges of tomorrow.
But I will wait on
the generosity of individuals
from you, and he's going to do all he can.
We wouldn't be able to serve our youth.
He knows.
We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation.
But I could not give him any comfort.
After you listen to this, you're gonna love it, man. This is such a worthy cause that Barry is doing.
Donation,
he said he'd do everything he can to help. And when I get that, and I share who this person is, I think you might know this person too.
Country Boy.
Oh, cool.
And you might want to have him.
Coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and
I won't recommend anybody to you
James
that's
paints
not
a picture
fantastic.
about his arrival.
You should. I'd like to have on that Noah Dingley guy that you've had on your show.
Wow, that Noah Dingley guy is fantastic. He's a hard-working
sharing his
man in
hard-earned
live
lessons
radio.
to educate.
Yeah, I need all I want for Christmas from you next year is an extra couple of arms.
You already got 8.
A journey that
I need 10, man. 8 ain't cutting it no more.
Hey, I tell you, Noah, we're going to come back. I'm going to bring him back. Michelle got 2 questions.
The following
you got one, I got one. But Michelle got the majority of this, and she's going to lead us in this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Daughter was born. I was using one credit card account to roll over into another credit card account, and it was snowballing.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
When I first called Trinity, the representative understood the need based on the situation. They were great people to work with. From the first phone call that I made, they had me on a track to mitigate the credit card debt.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
Working with Trinity gave me the ability to save thousands of dollars. My name's Doug, and thanks to Trinity, I'm debt-free for keeps.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
FM 96.1 North County, AM 1170 San Diego. The Answer.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and just like I said, we got this absolutely fantastic guest, Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. And I tell you, we're talking about unshakable self-confidence. Now, Noah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you believe in yourself, you have this conviction. You have to have the conviction in order to maintain the confidence, because you're going to have a lot of naysayers out there that's going to tell you that you can't do this and you can't do that.
You know what's funny, JC, especially, in the world of radio and broadcast, and, you're no stranger to that over the years, but you have to have a thick skin, because you are not going to have everybody agree with you, and you got to be able to have that confidence in yourself and what you do.
And I tell you, this young lady right here is all about that, because there are going to be naysayers, and the minute that you become shaken and shakeable, I mean, you lose all of that. And I wouldn't say that's power, but you lose that grip. If you believe in yourself, you truly believe in yourself, you stick by your conviction. And so we got Jacqueline here, and I tell you, if you're at the listening audience, and if you are listening to this great lady. That's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170.
Jacqueline, you are a licensed clinical social work. Can you kind of tell our listening audience what inspired you to get into that field and what does it entail?
So the field of social work is a very broad field. And that's actually one of the reasons, too, why I chose social work versus like counseling or, marriage and family counseling, things along those lines, or psychology. So I knew that I wanted to, based on my experiences with my family, I've had a lot of experience with alcoholism. And I saw, like, firsthand what it does to, the individual and what it does to their families. So initially, that was why I went into the field. I said, I want to work in substance abuse. I want to help, I want to help people reform their lives. So that's initially how it started, because I wanted to do that. And it's just, it's changed over the years in different things that I wanted to do and different avenues, but that was the initial reason that I went into social work.
Oh, okay. So can you talk to us about Realizing Your Potential LLC, why you created it, and was there a particular incident or event that inspired you to create this company?
Okay. So Realizing Your Potential, I created that because I wanted women to be able to realize their potential. So what do I mean by that? In my professional life, I've had the opportunity, professional and personal life, I've had the opportunity to come across so many different types of women, different socioeconomic classes, educated, non-educated, old, young, born here, not born here. And one of the common themes that I saw was the lack of self-confidence. And so that's my experience professionally. And personally, I experienced the same thing. From a very young age, I was told that I wasn't that smart and that in order for me to achieve, what the next person would achieve, I could do it, but I have to work 2 to 3 times harder than everyone else in order to do it. So that was like something that was over my head, for a very long time. And what happened was I limited myself. I didn't allow myself to realize my potential and walk in my purpose. So kind of fast forward, 2016, I had just moved from New York back to Michigan, and I just said to myself, I'm not feeling fulfilled in my social work career, and whether it be the hospital, substance abuse, mental health, whatever the case. I wasn't fulfilled. I wanted to do more. I wanted to have a greater impact on individuals than I was, working at these different social service agencies. So I said to myself, I want to start realizing your potential. And it started because I really wanted to help women increase their self-esteem and increase their self-confidence. So that's how I started. And it basically started as a Facebook group. It was a Facebook group, and then I used to do like a meetup. So that's how the business started. And that's the why behind the business.
Jacqueline, JC and I talked about it in brief about how you can have that unshakable confidence. And I'd like to discuss that further because you're an expert on this, I think, and you must have a certain definition of what that is, to be unshakable, to have that self-confidence that no matter what adversity comes your way, you're not going to change what you see as value within yourself. So give us a definition, and then also tell us the process about what it actually takes to get that.
So sure, absolutely. You actually hit the nail on the head. The unshakable self-confidence is just that, meaning you know and trust in yourself and your abilities to handle whatever comes your way. Because there's going to be all sorts of loopholes. There's going to be all sorts of hurdles, disappointments, right? So on and so forth. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen to us in life that may knock us down, whether it's a divorce, whether it's the loss of a loved one. I don't know, maybe you were at a job for 20 years and they just told you one day, you know what, You can pack up your things. We don't need you anymore. You know, whatever the case is, there's a lot of things that we go through in our lives that kind of knock us down. And the thing of it is, if you have that good foundation of unshakable self-confidence, you believe in yourself, you know, regardless to whatever happens. You believe that whatever, you know, dreams and desires you have, that you possess what the necessary skills to be able to achieve your goals and your dreams. So that's my definition. I know that was a little on the long-winded side, but that's my definition of the unshakable self-confidence. And in terms of how to go about doing that, there's a few ways. But the way that I like to, or the first one that I like to mention, is going outside of your comfort zone. And I know a lot of coaches, and especially nowadays, you hear everyone talking about comfort zone, you know, get uncomfortable outside of your comfort zone. And the thing of it is, I think, well, that in itself is extremely powerful. Where I think a lot of people may fall short is they kind of, you know, just take a little baby step outside of that comfort zone. You know, and they kind of look around and they kind of, you know, jump back into the comfort zone. Or maybe they just don't do it often enough. But if you truly are committed to going outside of your comfort zone, that will truly, truly create, you know, within you. It will build, it will cause you to trust in yourself and your abilities. And that's really what the unshakable self-confidence is. So that, I would say that is my number.
4 minutes.
Is really, I mean, truly going outside of your comfort zone. Even if you have to, this may sound funny to some, but even if you have to plan to go outside of your comfort zone, do it. You know, and that's different for everybody. You know, but it's up to you to figure out, or, you know, maybe if you need to work with a coach and so forth, but to really figure out what's outside of your comfort zone and just keep doing it. And once you jump out there and you're fearful and you do it, you know, you may not, you know, let's say it's a presentation. It may not be the best presentation ever, but the fact that you did it, you know, you went out there and you delivered. You might have fumbled a few words, or maybe you were sweating, whatever the case, you did it. You know, and then what happens is once you do that over and over again, you begin to build the trust.
3 minutes.
And also, you take those wins. You know, and that's kind of segueing us into the second one that I use a lot, is always celebrate your wins, no matter how big or how small. And once you do that, that helps you gain momentum and it helps you stay motivated. You know, so those two core, the number one and the number two are the two that I use all the time. But I've actually literally used them for myself as well as my clients in terms of creating unshakable self-confidence.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to tell you what you just did. I don't know if you listen to any of my speeches or presentations, but I use the 4 C's, and theoretically, you just said exactly what it means. Create, vision, understanding. Collaborate. You have to talk to others, and they have to have purpose. Create, collaborate, commit. You have to commit, and you have to know that whatever you commit to, that you have to stick with it. Most importantly, confidence, self-confidence, all type of confidence. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence in everything that you do, because that is going to create your foundation on whatever you are reaching for, because I'm telling you, it's kind of like the crab syndrome in the bucket. You probably know what I'm talking about. You get to the top, you're getting ready to get out there, but out that bucket, somebody gonna pull you back down, especially if you lack self-confidence. So create, collaborate, commit with confidence. You just mentioned all 4 of those things. And if you really do those things, and if you really believe in those things, it creates the person that you are, and you just do it, just instinct. It's called character. And I tell you, I was over here. I'm tickled pink, like I always tell my producer, especially when the vision is the same. So we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we're going to continue this remarkable conversation with Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. If you want to be part of this conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
There is much truth in the journey that ain't over yet. As all of us journey through life, she talked about several ways to create, just like I have. Hi, I'm James Cooley, host of the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and the new audio version of my book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet. You can join me as I share my true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American. This is a must-listen to for anyone who thinks they're stuck in life or need to understand out there that situation. How would they know that they lack Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet? No, you got the unfiltered truth.
No, because I was answering the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. I was just. It's Talisha. She was told to call, so she's just going to listen for a while before she develops a question. So don't go to her yet.
Okay. Awaits you. Get the new audio version.
So what did you just say? Because I didn't hear it.
I was saying that that was a great question and great ending.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues.
One thing that we did not get from her is she said what it takes to have self-confidence. How do you know when you lack it? You know what I mean? I want to hear what she got to say because a lot of people
to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org.
There might even be. I mean, maybe it's a two-pronged question because then you could say that, and then you could also come back and say, how do you know when you've kind of got it? How do you know when you finally have that self-confidence?
I like that, and I think that I'm going to do
James
that.
shares his true life story.
And then Michelle got two questions, and you got one.
It's both
and
a cautionary tale
then I
and
think
a
we go
roadmap to
1-1-1.
achieving the American dream.
But
the new audio version
I
of
like
Country
this.
Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever. You said Michelle's got two, and then I got one. Is that what we're doing?
Okay,
Cultural
so
Marxism is
well,
sprawling.
Michelle, you want two? You want to go one?
But did you know that this so-called woke ideology
so we're just gonna go through the rotation, man.
into the church?
One.
Okay.
Because we're gonna run out of time, and so we want to get it. I really was
Michelle starting.
I'm starting. Okay. I'm gonna start it, and then Michelle.
Smuggled into the evangelical world. Stream it now for $9.99, or get the DVD for $12.99. Go to SalemNow.com or look for the Salem Now app.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, 100%.
All right, coming back.
Okay.
Each help your body deal with inflammation. Order the 3-week quick start now. Discount it to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. Call 800-500-8384. ReliefFactor.com.
The Answer San Diego, streaming now on TuneIn.com and Odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and we got Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison here. I mean, that really bringing it. And I tell you, she mentioned a couple of things that I like to just instill, that you have to have self-confidence in everything that you do. And you have to believe in yourself in everything that you do in order to fully and truthfully get your full potential of whatever you are trying to do. So, Jacqueline, I just love how you explain those things. I can see the excitement when you're talking. And listen, I want to say, you want to be part of this conversation. That's 1-888-344-1170. Jacqueline, now you was explaining what and some of the steps on gaining self-confidence. However, what are some of the How would you know if you lack self-confidence? I mean, which a lot of us do. What are some of the signs that you lack self-confidence? And when you finish that, what are the signs that you know when you got it?
Okay. So one of the signs, and this is just the first one that comes to my mind, because my target audience is women, is the inability to say no and or people pleasing, however you want to phrase it, right? So many of us are so, we have a problem using the word no. No is just no, and a period. It doesn't have to be no, I can't because, blah, 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 or sometimes saying no and feeling guilty about it, and you just swimming in all of this guilt because you had to say no. So, and that's a big one. And some people may wonder, why is that one of the signs, or, why is that so important? It's because, saying no and self-care go hand in hand. So, and actually that's another one, is not practicing good self-care. So those are two, just off the top of my head, of different signs, if you will, that an individual is or lacks self-confidence. Where they need to work on, they need to improve it, is the not setting clear boundaries. Well, the boundaries part, that's kind of a social work term, but not having difficulty saying no or people pleasing, as well as not practicing good self-care. So when you practice good self-care, you are able to, know and be able to dictate the different things that you need to do for yourself, for your family, and, maybe immediate family. We all have a certain schedule and different things that we want to do. But there are other people, and it could be immediate family, let's just say, that might want to slide this on your plate, slide that on your plate, push this on the plate. And it's like, whoa, my plate's already full. They're like, okay, it's okay. You'll be all right. You did it before. So I think you can do it, do it this time and push that on the plate, and sometimes we build a pattern of doing that. So people get used to that. People get used to it, and then they begin to expect it. And once they expect it, then it's like it's become your responsibility or your job. So part of that self-care is actually being realistic about what you can do, within a given day or within a given week, that still allows you to be able to get the things done, the important things done that you need to do, and also be able to just kind of, sit back and just take a breather, regardless of what that is, whether it's meditating, whether it's using those adult coloring books or crosswords or watching a good episode of Columbo. That's what I love to do. I don't know where I got that from tonight, but to sit back and watch a good episode of Columbo and eat my chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Yes, I said it. Okay. So, but that's me. That's what I do. That rejuvenates me. So being able to still take the time to do that. I talk to women, oh my gosh, on a day-to-day basis that they are literally, they have no time for themselves. It's like, will you even take a minute and sit down? And the thing of it is, if you always hear people say, oh, you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, that's the truth. If you keep going and going and going and going, you're not going to be there for yourself, or anybody else for that matter. So that's that self-care piece. And so those are two big things. And I think especially for women, and I think women oftentimes, always feel that they have to be there. They have to be there for everyone else, and especially if they have children. So those two things I would say.
Jacqueline, that is so true. People do need to have, women, we're talking about women, we do need to have time for ourselves, and how we relax is it's different for every woman. I mean, I relax by binge watching Netflix shows. I mean, that's my me time, so to speak, but that's what I do. So about unshakable self-confidence, what is the correlation between unshakable self-confidence and success in business?
Okay, unshakable self-confidence and success in business. So when you are running a business is a lot of pitfalls, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of uncertainty. And if you don't have that unshakable self-confidence, then oftentimes you'll let a setback cause you just to give up, right? But if you have that unshakable self-confidence, you believe in yourself and you believe in your business and you believe in your ability to have a successful business, and you won't give up. You will just keep going. You won't see it as a setback. You know, it'll be, okay, this is a challenge. I'm going to do better next time.
That's great. You know, and I'm curious on that. I mean, obviously we're all human, Jacqueline, and every time, you know, we reach an obstacle, maybe it's something that we haven't seen before, and so we don't know how to react, and, you know, we didn't foresee how that happens. Was there ever any point as you've gone through your journey where you maybe stumbled a little bit, and then upon that, and if not, great, but if so, how do you get yourself back on track to say, no, you know what, I got this?
Okay, how do I get myself back on track? Is one of the things I do is I keep like a gratitude journal, and it's just basically a journal, you know, talking about all the different obstacles that I've overcome, all the different things that I've learned in my business. So whenever I have a setback or I really have a blunder, you know, like I had a blunder where I was going online with some individuals and there was something that happened at the last minute, but it was my fault. You know, I just apologized about it, and I said, Jackie, you're not going to beat yourself up. You made a mistake, and you'll be able to learn from this and do it differently next time. So basically, I just, you know, say I'm going to learn from it, and we all make mistakes.
Wow. And we do. We all make mistakes, and we have to learn from those, get back up, or when we fall down. You should never be down too long if you got self-confidence. Jacqueline, I want to know a little bit, and we can go into this prior to the break. We've got about 2 minutes. Can you tell us a little bit about your role as executive channel producer of a Queen Roundtable on the Women's Win TV network, and your role as a host of the A Queen Roundtable quarterly symposium? Can you tell our listening audience a little bit about both of those? And remember, we only got about 2 minutes, and we got to take the break.
Okay. Okay, so the A Queens Roundtable quarterly symposium that happens quarterly, and the focus behind that is to provide personal, professional, and leadership development to women in business to help them scale their business. So I create a virtual roundtable, and I invite experts to talk about, you know, empowerment and different tips and tools to be able to help women in their business, you know, marketing, you know, anything related to business and personal. So that's you know, happens quarterly. And the executive channel producer, and I'm so excited about that as well.
2 minutes.
Actually, it's actually on the Women Win Network, which is a Christian-based, all-women network that is focused around women's empowerment, which is why I'm so excited to be with that particular network. So currently, you know, I have the channel, and I'm, you know, actually having different co-hosts come on, because the purpose of the channel is to provide mental, physical, and spiritual health for women in general, So, yes, I'm really, really excited about that. And 2022, we're really looking to do some things differently and to really have a huge impact.
Wow. Just how you explain it, and a lot of things that we did in our research, you are making a tremendous impact. And I tell you, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back, and we're going to continue this absolutely fabulous conversation with Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison, how to create an unshakable self-confidence. We'll be back shortly after the break. It's Your Life. I'm James Coley.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley. The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a
Sorry, I usually can't chime in until I fade down the music.
The Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its...
How much time we got in this segment?
11 minutes.
Okay. And overseas. We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more of the many exciting events.
No, she's gone.
This year, and experience firsthand the pride we take in supporting our cause. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow, and we rely heavily on the general...
Sounds good.
Individuals and business owners for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve our youth each year. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. Remember, it makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Hey, James, what question do you want to ask so I know which one to steal?
Oh, what you say now?
Life coming up.
Oh, I asked James which question he wanted to ask so I knew which one to steal.
I say all the questions.
In realization that life would never be the same, Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned
Yeah, my dog, I don't know if he had something upset his stomach, but he didn't eat breakfast this morning. He kind of seemed like he was feeling under the...
J.C. Cooley.
I'm looking forward to getting home so I can check on my little dude.
What'd you say, no?
Life insurance?
Oh, I'm sorry. My little chihuahua wasn't feeling well this morning. Didn't eat breakfast and kind of moped around, so I'm looking forward to getting home and seeing how he's been holding up.
Oh.
For example,
it just
George is
today?
40.
Just this morning, and normally, he eats like clockwork. I mean, if you're like even 5 minutes late, he's normally, why haven't you fed me? And wasn't interested this morning.
Does he get into a lot of things where
I'm
he's
select
just
quote
eating
agent.
like little things off the floor, maybe?
Oh no, we're very particular to make sure he doesn't get extra food and stuff. So no, not typically. So unless my son snuck something, and that's happened in the past.
523-3771. If he still feels that way tomorrow, you might want to get him checked.
523-37. And normally I bounce it off my sister-in-law. It actually has been a blessing because she's like a veterinary tech. Mm-hmm. So normally she kind of is good advice to say, hey, do I need to bring him in? And if she says yes, then so it's been good.
Oh.
Streaming now.
Here we go.
Your San Diego app and Odyssey.com.
You can It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. We are excited to have you, listening audience, to participate in the show. Title of today's show is How to Create Unshakable Self-Confidence. With our guest tonight, Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. And listening audience, if you want to be part of this conversation, please call in at 1-888-344-1170, 1-888-344-1170. Jacqueline, in your bio, you mentioned that you had a book, Anthology, titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. Can you tell listening audience about that book and what it entails?
Wow, yes, that is actually, we are just starting off this year with that project, and we are getting ready to start writing. We actually had our first authors meeting, or we'll have our first authors meeting. So it's actually specifically geared towards women and awakening the leader within, meaning that we as African American women have an innate ability to lead, and we've always exercised that lead. We just may not have looked at it as such. So it's about, for the average woman to be able to take control, to be able to realize that whatever, she has inside of her, whatever she needs to achieve her deepest desires, basically. So it's about empowerment, it's about resiliency, it's about adaptability and strength. So I'm really looking forward to it, and everyone is ready to go. So June 2022.
Great.
Hey, Jacqueline, I know you got lots of also, projects that you're working on, always very busy. Can you tell me a little bit about your podcast and what that entails, the type of things you talk about on that? I imagine they're very empowering and encouraging.
So the Eight Queens Roundtable Show is a podcast as well, and the podcast is specifically geared towards, again, women in business. So we talk about the idea is to give women personal, professional, and leadership development to help them scale their business. In addition, when I bring each guest on the show, it's an opportunity to spotlight that entrepreneur, to be able to give her more visibility so she can create a larger impact. So it's kind of twofold for the audience as well as for the different entrepreneurs that I bring on every second and fourth Sunday of the month.
Wow. Yeah, Jacqueline, I know that you inspire and empower African American women to be better for themselves and their family. Do you also coach men as well? I mean, I'm sure you done heard. I'm sure you done heard that before.
Oh, James, you don't hit me with that tonight. Okay. I don't want the men to feel excluded. You know what? I don't. However, my platform is open to them. Whether if there's someone that wants to speak at the Eight Queens Roundtable Symposium or come onto my show, they are definitely welcome to do so, because they can also, encourage and inspire women to, be better, and to be better and become a better version of themselves. But at this time, I don't have any specific coaching packages for men. Are you laughing over there?
I'm laughing a little bit, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm laughing a little bit. That men and women, regardless of who, which sex, we all bring positive aspects to making each other better and inspiring each other. And I understand your platform. I mean, so I thought I'd just throw that in there just to see how you was going to respond to it.
Jacqueline, sometimes people may not know the difference, or let's say they're calling somebody who's exuding self-confidence as being arrogant. What is the difference, in your opinion, between someone who is self-confident, unshakable self-confidence, as opposed to arrogant? What is the subtle differences between those two, in your opinion?
In my opinion, one of the things with people who are arrogant, well, a person that really truly has a high self-confidence usually is someone that is also humble. They're humble, and they're also willing to learn. Whereas oftentimes, like I said, from my experience, the arrogance piece is kind of like, I know everything. No one can teach me anything, or I only talk to people if they're at a certain level, and kind of a little on the showy side. To me, if someone truly has a good self-confidence, within you, who you are and what you're all about, and you don't necessarily have to prove that to anyone. If that makes sense. That's how I view it.
Do you have any professional role models that, that inspire you, that motivate you, or that you would love to work with?
Wow. Off the top of my head, I would say Lisa Nichols, of course, Michelle Obama, and Viola Wright. I really like, I'm sorry, Viola Davis. Mm-hmm. And let me see. Oh, Angela Bassett. Because I feel when Viola Davis talks, you could tell she's about empowerment. She's about uplifting. Same with Lisa Nichols, with Michelle Obama, and I really admire that.
I believe you carry the same power when you speak as well. It's all about empowerment, uplifting. It's all about having and maintaining a positive attitude to lead and to lead by example. That's one of the things that I'm taking away from this. Okay, so I always have to throw this one in the mix. What would Jacqueline today tell a younger version of Jacqueline 20, 30 years ago on what she might want to focus on in order to be successful?
Is to have started working on me and my self-esteem and my self-confidence. Just to even think about, because I told you, I put myself in a box and I limited myself so much. I didn't even try to do certain things because I already had that limited belief. So if I had
3 minutes
awareness, earlier on that I needed to do work in that area, whether it was through individual counseling, hiring a coach or maybe getting a mentor, I would have definitely done it.
What else? Okay, so we're down to the last two minutes of the show. What are some of the things that real quickly that Jacqueline got going on in 2022 that the listening audience need to know about?
So this month, January the 22nd, the Eight Queens Roundtable Leadership Symposium is doing a Business Accelerator Boot Camp. That's a one-day virtual event, and it talks about specific areas of publishing, how to secure high
2 minutes
speaking engagements. It also talks about putting on large-scale events. So if you're an entrepreneur and they want to learn how to scale their business, they need to be at that event. And if you're interested in being a show host, please see me if you want to join the fastest growing all-women network. Come and see me.
Well, how can our listening audience say we got someone that's not in the state where you're at that want to be a part of this? How can they get in touch with you? 30 seconds or less. Okay,
my website, which is www.realizingyourpotential123.com.
What is one takeaway that you want our listening audience to get? This is the last question. One takeaway that you want them to get from you, 30 seconds or less.
Is to always invest in yourself.
Always invest in yourself, and we have to continue to do that through whatever mechanism, whatever. So we have to pick the right role models. We have to pick the things that's going to help us better ourselves. Jacqueline, I want to thank you so much for taking time to come on the show tonight. So thank you. Talisha, thank you so much for inviting this absolutely fantastic guest. I'd like to thank my great co-host, Michelle Cooley, always being here doing all the heavy lifting. I'd like to thank my great producer, Noah Dingley, for always putting together a fantastic show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our listening audience for always tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Want you to remember that we're always looking for sponsors so we can continue to bring this absolutely fantastic show to you every night. And I tell you, and also great guests that we have, like we have with Jacqueline. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. I'm James Cooley. Remember to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. See you tomorrow.
Good show, man.
Good show, man.
Thanks for joining us for It's Your Life
show tomorrow,
with James Cooley.
She's going to be in
to learn more about James, how you can
I think you're going to be intrigued
visit
with this guest tomorrow.
CooleyFoundation.org.
Did you tell her already to try and get here before 6?
Oh, yeah. Okay. She'll be there. But you might know this person, but you're going to be intrigued tomorrow. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Cool, man. I'm excited. Can't wait.
We will send you that show tonight because we put that together earlier. But I tell you what, man. Let's talk if you get a chance to, sometime in the day tomorrow.
Sounds good, bud.
All right. Talk to you in a minute.
All right. I was going to talk to her. Okay.
No. You talk to her. Unplug that.
Okay.
And
Yep. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, this was a fantastic show. Thank you so much for being a guest.
you are a natural.
I enjoyed you guys.
You are a natural.
We enjoyed you too. I mean, usually in the show we have so many questions to ask. Sometimes when we get through the questions, all of them, but we just want to hit the high points. But one thing I wanted to say, especially you empowering African American women, is that, and it could be environment, background, or whatever, is that women, we need to stop trashing other women. We need to empower other women. I'll give you a perfect example. Some women, and it could be, like I said, who knows, but they call each other, the certain names as a gesture of love. But that's not something I want to call myself, or I don't want you to call me that. And you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's like, that's not empowering. That's not, in my opinion, everyone's different, but I just believe that women, we need to start empowering other women. Don't tear other women down. They're doing something great, support them. You may not be doing something maybe as fast as you would like it, but we just need to always support our women, support each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think when you truly have a good self-confidence, it's okay to congratulate someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't feel so intimidated, or they have something that I want, or feeling at home. I have to tear her down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you feel good about yourself. You know who you are, and we all bring something different to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And stop comparing. But I think the core of that is really truly knowing who you are. Knowing who you are and feeling good about yourself. And then let me just say this one other quick thing. I'm passionate about this.
Okay.
I probably got that right. It's that I think sometimes with women, and I mainly talk about African American women, because that's my experience. I feel that I could relate to that better. But I think you have a lot of women that they have a PhD, they have the Mercedes, they got the big houses and the Louis Vuitton bags, and all of that stuff is on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start peeling that onion,
mm-hmm.
You get down to the core, and they don't feel good about themselves. They feel very inadequate.
Hey, Jacqueline, you scare me. Because you done said about 5 or 6 things that I speak about. Just like you're saying, when you know yourself, when you love yourself, when you trust yourself. You know what? Hey, send her this so she know Angel.
I will send that. I will send that to her.
Send this to her. This is one of my speeches.
I'm gonna send you one of James's speeches after we finish talking. It's called
Know Yourself, Love Yourself Before You Share Yourself. And it's having that self-confidence in you that regardless, and this goes men, women, children, whatever. When you know yourself and you believe in you, and not what anybody else is going to try to tear you down, because it's going to happen, but then that's just noise. I believe that's just noise just coming in. And so Michelle going to send you this when you get out.
And you know what? You made me, I was chuckling during the interview when you said that, it's okay to say no.
Oh.
But it's interesting because sometimes people feel, and I do feel that way sometimes, when you say no to someone, they ask you for something or whatever favor, and you say, no, I can't do it. Sometimes we feel the need to explain why we can't do it. Why can't we just say, no, I can't do it, and leave it at that? Exactly. And I think that's just, a sign like, okay, we don't want them to be upset or angry at us. Well, if you don't have those issues, if you feel self-confident, you don't have to feel that way. I just thought that was interesting.
Sign off.
Because you know what? They don't care about the other 99 things that you said you're going to do for them, right?
Yeah.
You go through all the other 99 things, but the one thing you say you can't do.
Oh, how do I sign off?
Just say.
Well, hit finish. Oh, hold on a second.
Facebook family, this is an absolutely wonderful conversation. We're going to sign off on the live portion of it, and Michelle is going to continue her conversation. But I tell you what, tune in tomorrow. We got an absolutely fantastic show, and we had a extraordinary show with Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. Tell you what, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley.